How long have you guys been partnered with Rocket
Yeah.
Track Pro TPO?
Yeah, so it's been about 8 years that we've been brokering out to Rocket, and going through that process, we have shifted different mortgage banks. So we've seen a lot of the ebbs and flows of that process and improving through our own personal process as we developed as a company, and then seeing it improved. And that was, I think, one of the big takeaways during the breakoff session was, making sure you could see some of those improvements. But overall, been about 8 years in total.
Wow, awesome. 8 years. Yeah, we've been in business for almost call it 13. So yeah, you've been with us for a while. What do you like?
Yeah.
And it's selfish for me to ask this question, but it's important to always get feedback from our partners. What are some of the things that you like most about Rocket Pro TPO?
Yeah, I'd say especially recently, and this was why we were so excited to go to the all access and a lot of the breakout sessions, see a lot of the new features, was the portal itself, and what's available in there is a lot more seamless and a lot easier to use than what we've used for any other broker channels, and even what we have in house. The tools at your disposal make make it a lot easier just from our point of view when we're on the phone with a client, when we're trying to figure out what's going to be the best service for them. Obviously, the big thing that drew us to Rocket in the first place is just the rates, the competitive rates. It's, you can't get past that, especially in a market like this. The buck stops with the rates, but when you have all these other additional services that we can pair those rates with, like the insanely low mortgage insurance quotes, the ability to, you have all those Rocket Connect, and the list goes on and on. Those were just some things that we as a team, when we are more of a conveyor belt, or I guess assembly line team, where people are taking different tasks and taking on different responsibilities at varying stages of the process, they can jump into one centralized portal and knock out a lot of those tasks. So that was something we really enjoyed, and we continue to enjoy as we keep moving forward and trying to continue to grow in this crazy market.
Hey, I love hearing that from you. You're like the spokesman of Rocket. That's why here I'm so excited about you. I'm serious, like you are. We should we should just make you the spokesman for Rocket. Look, you guys, I hear a lot about you guys' realtor relationships. So looks like you guys were
Yep.
even you were getting more purchase business when you weren't even focused on it, and it's all about how you
Yep.
guys built this realtor referral. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I guess it goes back to the structure of JVM as a whole. So I am licensed the same way as a loan officer. My day to day is probably pretty similar to I guess high volume loan officers, in the sense that I'm talking with clients all day. Client advisor, realtors will make the introductions, and I will take it from there and make sure that they get the white glove, red carpet experience that they deserve. But before that, we have our business development officers, who are, their goal and their job day in and day out is to partner with our realtors and making sure that they have the best experience possible, so they trust JVM to refer out for any clients, and what, regardless of the loan product, they know that they're in good hands with us. So we have about 1,100 realtor partners in our network
Incredible.
currently throughout the various. Yeah, and that was, I guess it's a testament to our founders, who, in the Bay Area, one of the most insanely competitive markets, they knew that the differentiator was going to be partnering with realtors and going direct to that source. And so we try to build, and it's not just something where we say we're going to send you X amount of leads. We want to help build their business. And a lot of realtors, there was not as much buy-in at first because they want leads. That's going to be the deliverable. That's an easy metric to see. But I just talking with our sales manager before this, he was talking about how it truly has to be a partnership. And if they can see, just like with the all access, when Rocket says, when all of our brokers are successful, so are we. When our realtors are successful, so are we. And so helping them with their marketing, going on their Yelp pages, helping them build their website and everything there, that's something that our marketing team takes on. And we want them to, again, when they're more successful, so are we. And that's translated to a lot of great relationships. And about 80% of our business comes from our realtor partners, which we're really proud of.
That's awesome. What makes, like, I know that, look, you talk a lot about customer service and just making sure you provide value, but if I'm a realtor, what makes JVM different?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the team model, and we always tout the fact that we are no commissions. So myself as a, again, pseudo loan officer, the typical experience is, as a loan officer, they're going to be getting their pay based on the size of the loan, making sure it's closing, and if they want that paycheck in the following month, they got to close it this month. And so for our purposes, all of our employees here at JVM are salaried. And so I don't know if that's the most novel idea, but that's helped our team build that confidence and the ability to not sound as salesy with clients, because at the end of the day, I'm paid my salary, and obviously as JVM continues to grow, that's good for business, and we're going to be able to help more clients. At the end of the day, my job is to be a go-to resource, and my calls that I take, 5, 10 a day at the very least, a lot of them are just education, and people are very upfront. The classic rebuttal of, oh, I'm not buying right now, and we say, great, we're not going anywhere. And so that approach really helps clients feel at ease, because they know that we're just here to be a resource for them, and their realtor partners have prepped them for that with all the experience they have with us. And then beyond the quick turn times, we promise, just like with the 2-hour response times from your team, we promise 60-minute response times during business hours. We know that quick, efficient responses and intelligent responses are important when the rubber meets the road. So those are just some of our main value props. But at the end of the day, it's our team that is the differentiator. It's the people that we have. So even through all this, we have a lot of realtors who they just want to work with JVM, and we're very proud of that. The reputation and the reviews online, we're very proud of that we built over the past few years.
Yeah, I was looking at you guys' reviews online. I mean, you guys have a 5-star review, over 400 reviews, so that's very nice work. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
as you were speaking, one of our isms is responding with a sense of urgency is the ante to play, and it seems like you guys also live by that ism, is making sure that you're responding and you're available, and you give yourself a 60 minutes turn time to respond during work hours. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I love the model. I mean, it's not a model that you hear a
It,
lot about, but it looks like this model is working, and it's working for your realtor relationships for sure.
Yeah, I think also it was really exciting to see at the All Access kind of the beginnings of Rocket, Quicken, and how that was built from there, and getting to hear from a lot of the executives. And I tried to ask some questions of, like, how did you scale that? Because that's what we see ourselves in, similar shoes to Rocket so many years ago, and seeing that path and trying to learn from what you guys do now, and having teams for specific tasks like the cruise. That's something that
Yeah.
I know our processing team has loved, to have a go-to person and say, hey, can we try to iron out this process? It's made it, and we want to emulate that in our scale, but in-house, and say, okay, we need to have a go-to team for X, Y, and Z. And it's been really helpful for us to scale accordingly.
You talked about cruise, like, and I know that this is something that we wanted to go out to the broker community and offer them something different than anyone else. You're in the business. You see other lenders that have different type
Mhm.
of processing teams or whatever they call them. What's your feedback on cruise? How's it helped your business, or maybe not help your business?
Yeah, I'd say especially in just seeing the feedback that you have taken through Rocket Pro TPO, and this was one of the things in the breakoff session that I kind of piped in on, and saying, hey, sometimes we'll have realtors who say, oh, you know what, I don't want to work with Rocket for that one past experience where something didn't go perfect, and they see that we're going through the Rocket portal, and their clients saying, well, wait a second, I thought we were working with JVM. And to be able to voice the differences of what has changed. How we've utilized Cruise is the fact that we have the go-to person for our one-stop shop for any issues that we're having on our
Yeah.
end, versus in the past, I remember we would have processors who were saying, okay, we just submitted to one underwriter, the underwriter got X, Y, and Z of these conditions, got it back, satisfied those conditions, and sent it back, and went to a different underwriter. And the hair pulling and the headaches that came with that, you guys streamlined the process, and now we have our one set team. That's made it so much easier and cut down. For our purposes, we tout speed. When we're working with one team and making it easy, it's going to be so much easier to get to that finish line. Those realtors questions to say, you need to, it's not just the rocket that you'd worked with years in the past that had that one bad experience. You need to see how they've changed, and this is our opportunity to show you that, so that there isn't that much of a stigma against the big, the big name in the market like Rocket.
I love that it's working for you, and it's working this exactly to how we wanted it to work. When we were thinking about Cruise, we were thinking about a dedicated team, your own operations team, sitting in our offices, but working for you, working for JVM, delivering where you don't have to deal with different underwriters and different teams. So that dedicated team is
Yeah.
was what our vision was to how to streamline the process, and it feels like it is working for you guys. So that's incredible feedback. I have one more question for you. And
Yeah.
this one, look, as I speak a
Yeah.
lot with brokers and I hear a lot from them like, hey, we're working on our brand. We're working on making sure JVM brand is out there, which is great. Like, I think that's a big deal and you got to build your brand. But what I see a lot is like companies not utilizing Rocket's billion-dollar brand as they should, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'd say the big thing, it goes back to changing the narrative and being based in the Bay Area, where most realtors were established. Their go-to line is, you got to work with somebody who's familiar with the market. And so being able to send that message that even though Rocket, may not have the brick and mortar right here in A, even though I'm sure you guys have plenty of established officers out there, being able to show that we are going to be the guiding light on the specifics and the important pieces to what it takes to close a loan in the Bay Area. But we're going to be able to leverage the value props that Rocket offers and go XYZ. And I think that goes back to our partnership in having the ability to lean over and say, hey, Joe, Joe Smith, you're a great realtor, but we know what we're doing. You've had great experiences with us in the past, and we wouldn't be taking a risk on this deal unless we knew that your client, that us, JVM, are going to be benefiting from it. So, the mortgage insurance, the tangible numbers and rates and mortgage insurance, that's easy to see. And then once we want to experience with them and it goes seamlessly, then it's easy to continue to build from there and show us that, okay, when we send that link to have our clients sign up through the Rocket portal, there shouldn't be red flags that go up. It should how it's done. And Rocket is reputable, it's trusted, and working with JVM together, making sure it's co-branded and everybody's on the same page, that wouldn't be an issue for any of our realtors or any clients in the past. They say, okay, I want that local experience. They're going to get that, but they're going to get the benefit of going through Rocket, completely. So, long answer to a short question: being able to get a foot in the door and leverage our local presence, and then show them the experience through Rocket, and seeing your name, seeing that brand translate to savings, translating to good experience, closing on time, all those extremely important deliverables.
I love how you put that. I mean, it's basically utilizing your name brand and it's out there and it's in the local market and there's that trust factor, but backed by a big company like Rocket, where everyone knows who
Yeah.
Rocket is. So I love how you're tying both brands together. That makes a ton of sense. I'll tell you, I ask you that question
Yeah.
because a lot of times I see brokers shying away or maybe thinking they can't use the brand. And I'm here to tell everyone, like, utilize the brand. The brand is there for you. It's a billion-dollar brand and it's available for you. Everyone knows who Rocket is. So as you're branding yourself and as you're talking about your company and as you're talking about your brand, which is very, very important, let them know that you're partnered with the largest lender in the country. Let them know you're partnered with a lender that has 12 JD Power and Associates awards. Like, this is a brand that you can
Yeah.
trust and everyone knows who it is. And I love that you guys are using that. So that's great.
Yeah. That's
Any
perfect. And I
question?
guess question for you, Mike. Yeah, perfect. Well, I was just curious. I heard a bit about this from a lot of the different team members at All Access, but in your eyes, where does Rocket Pro TPO fit into the growth in Rocket's overall market share and continuing to grow? Is this something, I mean, how does that fit in? And I guess what are your goals over the next couple years take this product and hopefully partner with more lenders across the country? That's a pretty broad question, but curious your
Yeah,
thoughts on that.
that's a good question. So I'll tell you, we started, like myself and Austin, about 5.5 years ago in this channel. And when we first started, this channel was doing, I don't know, like 3 to 6 billion a year, and we were able to fastly. I mean, great. Just to make sure that I give everyone credit, everyone that's been part of that channel, was part of the channel, continued to play a role in this channel. But we went from 7 billion to 120 billion, and we went from not a major player when it comes to the overall rocket share to now we are a major player. When you think about rocket companies, rocket in general, we went from very, very little share to the overall number to where we are 20 and 30% of Rocket's overall number. So our goal is to continue to compete within our walls to have more share from the Rocket pie. So I would love to see us at 40% of Rockets overall in the next year or two. And I would love to see us continue to take our platform, which is our portal, our pricing, and our cruise model, and our account executives and their experience. I look at that as a full platform that we can give to brokers across the country. We're there to provide you that certainty. We're there to provide you that stability in a market that's not very stable right now. We saw brokers, we saw wholesale lenders during COVID shy away and sit in a corner and not be able to deliver when brokers needed them. So for us,
Mhm.
it's that much more important to continue doing that, to continue to provide that stability, to continue to provide that certainty to our broker partners. So we're going to play a big
Yeah.
role into Rocket's overall share, but we want to also play a big role in the broker community by offering them a product, a platform. It's a plug and play platform that they can benefit from, know that they can rely on, and close deals with every single day.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to be along for the ride there, and I think JVM is going to be able to leverage a lot of that to grow our business. So that's going to be a win-win on both sides.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Listen, I appreciate you taking time with me this morning. I heard great things about you. This has been a great chat, but truly, video or not, I want to thank you for your partnership. I want to thank you for being a voice for Rocket. And please
Yeah,
reach out if you need anything. Don't hesitate. I'm here for you.
that sounds great. Thank you so much, Mike. You enjoy the
Thanks,
rest of
brother.
your day.
Appreciate you. Take care.